Hello everybody, welcome back to AI War Fleet Command. It's time for a new game. We're going to try out Defender mode now before hopping into the Fallen Spire again and moving on forward. I did a quick search for Defender mode videos that are already out there on YouTube, and I actually only found a couple by somebody who didn't have a lot of AI War material and didn't appear, at least from the little bit I saw, to be particularly experienced with the game. So I couldn't find any from anybody else. It just seems to be something that wasn't touched that much, and from what I've seen in the community, it's not really a particularly popular mode among AI War players. Like, it's something that some people have tried out as much like we're going to do, just as sort of a change of pace, but nothing that really caught on and was particularly popular compared to the main way of playing. We, of course, have our first three expansions on. We're going to go with random, harder, and the hard difficulty level that we were on before, difficulty 8. And the Defender recommends 10 starting planets and a 45-minute limit. Now, that limit can go anywhere from 15 minutes to 4 hours, but that's their recommended setting for the first one, so we're going to go ahead with that. Standard size, standard realistic, etc. From looking at this and thinking about it, and I actually started a game that I ended up abandoning because I didn't quite understand how things worked, it's just going to be totally different from a normal game. The AI can attack you wherever you are. You can have as many planets as you want. You could pick every planet in the galaxy. But that also means that there's no such thing as choke points. What strikes me as important for this is a couple things. One, we kind of have to decide, because it seems to me, just logically, that there's two basic ways we could do this. One is rely mostly on turrets and try to be out here in these areas where there aren't very many wormhole connections, and that will help us. The other thing is, if we're not going to be as reliant on turrets, then we could go into some of this stuff where we get the special ship types, because this is really the only way we're going to get the other ships. Most of the capturable things are disabled in the game, and the idea is you're not expected to expand and attack. You're just trying to hold on to what you've got for long enough. So it's really sort of a big question to my mind, like, which way are you going to go? Turrets or ships? And I'm going to go with the ships route. Naturally, my mind would go to turrets. They're more powerful definitely on a per energy basis. But I just think we're going to have to divide up so much. Like, what's a good example? Like, let's say we had this system. You would have to have turrets facing this way, turrets facing this way, turrets facing this way. Your command stations are where they are at the start. You can't move them. You get a bunch of extra resources, but you can't significantly relocate your spot. You can't set up choke points. So a lot of the things you would normally do to make them run into your turrets, I just don't apply in Defender. So what I want to do is I want to be concerned more with what type of ships I'm going to grab. And of course, it's been pointed out recently, and something I knew about but didn't really ever do. You can right-click and change the ship type. I'm not going to bother with that here, although that can be an interesting way to play. I'm just going to grab some of these. And I like the blade spawners, I like the beam frigates, I like the armored ships there. And then if we grab, like, say, a couple of these younglings, I think those would be useful to us, especially the vultures. Always like the raptor. And then the other thing is that I really wanted to get in here and not have it, like, I didn't want to get into any of these that have, like, 6. I don't want to get into those hyper-dense ones, although you could. That's just more places to defend from. But I want to be contiguous, because if they're attacking one system, I need ships from other systems to be able to come to their defense. And we are still going to build turrets. It's just that I'm going to want other ships to be available to us. And I think the shield bearers could be particularly important. Okay, so that's what I'm going to go with. I have no idea if this is going to work or not. I may get swamped immediately. The point of this is just to show off the Defender mode, what it's about, how it works mechanically, so that you're getting the full picture of the game. Increasing number of planets or decreasing the time would make the game more intense. If you don't like the intensity, you want to draw it out more, you could take fewer planets or go with a longer time frame. So there's some variation here. And with all this other stuff, there's no point in core shield generators. Everything else is on complex, usual settings there. And I turned everything off here, including schizophrenic. I mean, this is just baseline Basically, although I think I'm going to turn schizophrenic on, but that's it. Like the no enemy waves, the double enemy waves, the half enemy waves, they don't even function on this particular setting. None of the minor factions are on. No auto AI progress there. No AI plot. So we're not throwing anything special at them. Let's see what we get. Okay, now we definitely want to pause right away. And here we go. We get our timer, 45 minutes. And we get 142 AI progress to start. We're going to incrementally get more AI progress over time. Now, this is Triton, but every one of our worlds is the same. They're all home worlds. They all get economic command stations. They all get all of these things. They all get Mark IV advanced factories, Mark IV starship constructors. So that's another thing that leans me towards ships, by the way, in this setup, because we'll get the Mark IV version of them for free, where we won't get that Mark IV version for free when you're looking at the turrets. Now, I'm still definitely going to want to have turrets, but we're going to sort of lean more heavily on the ships than I would normally do. So if we look at what we have, we've got all kinds of stuff here. We've got shield bearers. Ooh, is the parasite the free one that we got? Because that would be great. It is. Okay, and then we got, yeah, the gravity brain teleporting leech. I don't think I took that. So I think we got some extra bonus ship types along with the normal ones. So we've got all kinds of things that we can pick from here. I don't care about scouting. I don't care about any of that. I just care about defending against the various waves. You can see this is our territory. Vidate, Kashyyyk, Hestia, Sylvia, Chariklo, Merapi, Bespin, Willy Tong, and Coruscant. That's our field. Now, I think what I need to do is really just try to defend all the ships, all the systems equally. Gradually build up my ships, defend all the systems equally, and then, you know, as we see waves coming, concentrate ships in those areas, and then gradually build up my turrets as a secondary thing. And like I said, don't know if this is going to work, but that's my goal. We've got 3 million energy. We're going to have a bunch of metal. This is over 21,000 that we're going to have coming in. And so I think I want to throw out... I definitely want to get some initial research done first. What are we going to want at first? Well, the first idea I had was, hey, let's build some logistics or military command station. Well, it doesn't let you. That's not a thing. We could consider the metal harvesters to have even more metal to build things faster. And then we need to go with the Mark II drones. And I think in a game of this size where it's so frenetic and like the time pressure is on you, I do think I want to go. And that this could be, again, totally wrong, and maybe I'll wish I'd done something different. But I'm going to go with these. Max out our metal and max out our engineers right away. And that takes up almost half of our knowledge. We're going to get a bunch more. And the idea behind that is just so that we can build the maximum amount right now. And then I'm just going to quickly go in here and distribute our engineers across our various systems. Okay, so I've got the engineers set up. I got a handful in most of the systems, but I wanted to center the shipbuilding on a couple systems, Hestia and Bespin. And I chose those because they're all within 2 hops of anything else. We can get anywhere. We can get here, 2 hops from Hestia. Bespin can cover Willy Tong and Coruscant. Can also get them down here to Merapi, and then, you know, Hestia covers all that. So 2 hops from anywhere. These 2 systems are going to have a lot more of the engineers. They're going to have the majority of them. If we look at this, like, we're going to be putting 50 or so in each of these, as opposed to like 9 or 10 in the other ones, because they're going to do the shipbuilding. And I may tweak that balance a bit as we go, but they're going to get all of these going. And then we got to figure out what to do with the rest of the knowledge. So we're going to be gathering more quickly. We're going to be getting 6 knowledge a second from each planet, so we're getting 60 knowledge a second overall. So what I want to do is, first of all, obviously I'm going to want the tachyon beam emitters. I'm going to want my Mark III grav turrets right away. I want to get the dark matter turrets just in case. Have one of those, have a sniper turret up in each system. I don't think mines are a great idea, because by the time we spread them out to all the systems, they're not going to accomplish much of anything. So I'm going to not go with that. I do want to have spider turrets right away. I'd like heavy beam cannons, but I'm going to save those for a bit later. And then switching to starships for a bit, because we don't have munitions boosters, and we don't have military command stations. I want to use starships as our only real option, or flagships rather, for increasing our attack. So I want to get the high mark ones of those. I want to get all of them, but especially the high mark ones out right away. So unlocking those takes me down to a little over 6,000. And then from there, I want to get a whole bunch of my regular ships out. And I don't want to build turrets that aren't maxed, that aren't Mark IV, because I don't see the point. I'm going to have to replace them later, and we're going to want to be replacing our ships later, not my turrets. That's the goal I have. So I just want to start with the mainline ones and work my way down. And we've got 6180 here. So if I unlock all of these, and then I can get these as well. I think I've got just enough here. Oh, nope, not quite. This is going to be 1500. It'll be a few seconds, then we'll get these and we'll be able to get the laser turrets out. So I can begin setting up all of those in my systems while they're building ships. And that's my goal here for the sort of initial defense. Now, my plan overlooked one thing that I actually think is going to work in my favor, just how fast we're going to collect knowledge. Because I've now unlocked the majority of the turrets and have a lot of them built. Now, it doesn't mean I don't have as many ships. We have plenty of engineers to just burn through all of the metal we have and then some, which is great. Now, I'm building up Ninzel regeneration chambers now in all my systems so that we'll have somewhere for them to go in between attacks. What I've got here is I've got some ships getting built, not that many, but we've got most of the Mark IV turrets up and running already. Now, you also see AI progress is already up to what I would consider an endgame number, 318. We haven't even hit our first attack yet, and we haven't even quite made the 3-minute mark. But we're about to get waves, 700 and 800 variety at 2 different places, Coruscant and Merapi. So I'm sending the ships to those locations. What ships we do have, we'll try to help out there back in the turret area. And we don't have any of the super long range ones. We don't have any snipers or spiders yet. What we've got here is the MLRS, the laser, the needler, and then I just got the flak ones. And if we take a look here, see all of those are upgraded all the way. I still need to get the lightning and the sniper. And I'm probably going to spend the knowledge to unlock the spiders, even though there's even more of them, or even more expensive, rather, because those can hit anywhere in the system. So once I get those up, just putting them up will be as good as ships in those systems, except of course that those are better. So I think I'm going to for the first time go there. And I've never gotten to Mark IV turrets before, but now I have, probably a good solid half of them at least, maybe more, and they're all in place. So now we're just waiting for these to hit in a couple minutes and see what more we can do in the meantime. Okay, the first set of waves just about to hit, and you can see they've added more. They've also added a little bit more AI progress. 2 coming to Coruscant, 1 to Merapi, 1 to Willy Tong. So I sent the fleet here. And I'm going to have them defend here in Coruscant. And then we'll see what happens. Like the other ones can fend for themselves, I'm hoping. We got 5 minutes down, 40 to go. And we also just now, just with this 6 seconds left, 17 there, unlocked snipers. So they just went out, and hopefully we'll get some of those built, but I don't think we'll need them for this fight. Certainly we'll need them later. Everybody trying to rush back, and yeah, we got more coming in. And here they come. And my, they got some big suckers in there. Okay. And they are, okay, they're trying to escape to other systems. They're going after some of these ships. Let's just all come back in here and defend. And you can see, like, now there's Merapi's under attack, and they've got a wave of 2,000 ships coming to Sylvia. So we're going to want to deal with that. And this is basically like a never-ending thing, I think, from here on out. Like, there's not supposed to be any break in between. It's just constant attacks. And the main thing, you know, for me at the moment is that there's not any issue with, like, we're continuing to build up and whatnot. We lost Merapi. Okay. I'm really surprised at that. I thought we'd have enough in here to handle it. They had a bunch of bombers. They must have, yeah, 1,000 ships. They must have sent more in from somewhere else. Okay, so this is not going too well for us, but we only have to keep one alive, is the other part of this. I definitely think I want to send everything I can to Sylvia as fast as I can, because we're going to need everything to help defend there. And meanwhile, over 1,000 in Coruscant continue to hit us. Coruscant is down. Yuck. So yeah, this is not going well at all. Yeah, boom, they're just blowing up everything. Willy Tong is down. So this is not going well for me at all. It's clear that my plan was, how shall we say, insufficient. And somebody might say, well, what about warheads? They don't work in this. They do not work in this at all. So the whole missile silo is not even available. We've only got a minute till they hit us here in Sylvia. And there might be something better to do, but I'm just going to try to turtle up in here. Meanwhile, I should be able to be able to get those spiders going. I can get up to level 3. I need a little more to get to level 4. Alright, here they come. Let's see how we do. Over 2,000 ships. AI progress up to almost 500. They're going to be coming back here and also to Bespin. They've got some snipers which are not going to do anything and some sentinel frigates. Seem to be holding our own here, but having a really hard time taking out all of these ships. There goes our gravity turrets. Yeah, and our turrets are just not, even the Mark IV ones, the overall firepower here is just not going to go well for us. We've lasted only 10 minutes. We've lost 1, 2, 3. We've lost 4 systems. Frankly, I mean, I already see no hope for this. Really what we're looking at here is just a generalized slaughter, and this is something where, I mean, I would probably have to do, I'm going to think about it between now and the next session, but I would probably have to do a lot of min-maxing. I'd have to go back probably on an earlier difficulty and like study how to get through Defender mode before just jumping into it on level 8. But I just don't see how I would be able to repel this amount of force at this many places at once when they can overwhelm even maximum defenses. So anyway, we will continue with this and see how far I get. My guess is not very far. Until then, thanks for watching, everybody. More AI War will continue.